Good morning, everybody. It is Monday, April 29th, 2024. Finishing out the last couple days here of April and moving into a big news week here, right? We've got a lot of stuff on the docket, including FOMC and non-farm payroll and a whole bunch of other stuff. So should be an interesting week. Maybe this morning and today will be a little bit quieter given that there's nothing on the calendar. But let's go ahead and jump back here and take a look at what happened on Friday. If you were in the weekly webinar on Sunday, we kind of looked at some ideas here with what happened here on Friday. So if you were here for that, this might be a little bit of a review, but let's go ahead and take a look at what happened here on Friday of last week. So from the overnight high, this nice little peak above type of situation, we had clues for a pullback. And if you were in the news report on Friday, you remember what I said. The market was selling off coming into the open. This is kind of what we saw. And I warned you that it made sense for there to be a pullback, but for all we know, they could very well come to our first roadmap level and find support. And that might be as far as this pullback really gets before the bulls try to jump back in. And sure enough, that is exactly what came to fruition just a couple seconds after the open. So market was selling off in the pre-market. Warned you guys it made sense for a pullback, but we did have our first level here that could act as a strong support. They came right to it there. You got a nice divergence as well. Great opportunity to buy the market. Not saying that I would have bought it, but it did end up working there for a beautiful push. And then that was, I believe, the low of the day, right? So another day where we come in and the low of the day is our roadmap level. And then you can see it was just kind of a really nice rally from there. Interesting to note that they bounced again from our roadmap level down here, and then came up and could not get through the Hopel and or the other roadmap level up here around 22. And again, if you would have shorted Hopel, you would have got the pullback. But what happened? The bears could not pull price back below the 200 moving average. And then we get our push higher, another pullback right off our roadmap level. And then we get a push to test the high the day before. Right now on the pullback, let me get rid of this line right here. On the pullback, what happens? You get a beautiful opportunity to buy a pullback to the 200 in a bullish market to get a beautiful 10-15 point bounce. And then we get a little bit of sideways motion, but notice what happens. Eventually, they do hold from our roadmap level here and then pop to the next new high. And then that leads to a pretty extreme sell-off. However, notice what happens here. The bulls hold the market up right off our VWAP. Once again, another hold off our roadmap level with nearly no risk. I think that was a one tick break through the VWAP. And then we got a continuation to the upside going into the end of the day there. Once again, holding VWAP, then stair-stepping up the roadmap level, and then holding up off the previous daily high. And then here you can see at the end of the day, just kind of petered out going into the weekend there. And once again, gets a nice little parry on the way down, stepping down the previous daily high, the previous daily close, and then our roadmap level, or the VWAP, whichever one you want, right at the end of the day. So that concludes our review from Friday. Again, the low of the day, if we just zoom out, was our roadmap level right after the open. And then we got a really nice strong push out to hold the pullback to the VWAP. You even got that beautiful pullback to the 200 if you were here looking for a long entry as price was trying to break out through VWAP. And then again, at the end of the day, we got one of those beautiful stair steps down and then a bounce right at the end. So that brings us here into the pre-market for this morning, Sunday's Globex session into Monday pre-market. And as you can see, the bulls have been having a lot of trouble getting through the high of the week before. That also was, if you remember from our review the other day, this is our major area of expected resistance, and we're just having trouble right in front of it right now, right? 51.50 to 57 was that major pocket. This also happens to be right about 48.5 here, 50% of the whole sell-off from the all-time high, right? And now notice that for the last 2 days now, Friday and the overnight of today, the bears have been having a lot of trouble. I'm sorry, the bulls have been having a lot of trouble getting up through this major area of resistance. So let's go ahead and jump up to the higher time frames. We'll take a look at what the charts have to say for this morning.